A lot of times when families come to us, they are asking, what are the education requirements for adopting? Well, the answer is, it depends. So we're going to talk about that today in the All About Adoption video. Hi, I'm Stephanie A., and I'm the founder and executive director here at Adoption and Beyond, and we help families adopt the child of their dreams. And so I'm going to break it down to what the education requirements are for adopting. So for foster care adoption, the training is pretty straightforward. It's approximately 30 hours of training. There are some states that have additional training for the adoption piece of it, but for foster care, it generally is 10 weeks long, 3 hours once a week. And I know COVID has changed a few things, and those used to be done in person, but I think some are now being done online. And so at least when we were going through the foster care adoption process, it was all in person, and it was 10 weeks long with 3 hours once a week, and it was 30 hours in training. So that is training for foster care. When you're adopting internationally, you're going to need anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of what is called Hague Training. And that's a very specific training that is geared towards adopting a child from another country. And some countries require additional training. And so those requirements are outlined by the country. But in general, international, you're going to have anywhere from 10 to 12. Our families go through just a little more training than that, because we also do training that goes beyond the Hague requirements. We're a big advocate of education and training, which empowers families to be able to be the best parents that they can be to the child they adopt. So that is what is required for international adoptions. For domestic adoptions, there is no really guidance. It really just depends on the placing agency or your home city agency, what education and training they require. As an agency ourselves, as I mentioned earlier, we're big advocates of education. So we do take our families through a lot of education. We have them read some books. We have online courses. If you're adopting a child transracially, we have you take transracial training. If you're adopting an older child, we have you take older child training. So those are some of the trainings that we have our families go through domestically. We also have trainings about open adoptions and the creating an adoption profile that an expecting mom views, and just kind of tips of how to talk to an expecting mom. So those are some of the trainings that our families go through when adopting domestically, but really domestically, it's not consistent. Some agencies don't require any education, which I think is a real disservice to families, but that is, there's just no standards across the board for education domestically. Now, for our agency, one of another courses that we have our families take is All About Adoption 101. I'm going to link to that below. And then also we now have a new course called The 6 Avenues of Adoption. It's a mini course, and I'm going to link to that so you can take advantage of some of the education that our families go through. So if you like what you've heard today, please hit the subscribe button. We're here each week bringing you tips and advice about adoption, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.